The case of a Nepalese man shot dead by a police officer nearly 2 years ago was back in court today for judicial review after a coroner's ruling that it was a lawful shooting.
A hearing that was expected to last for 3 days ended within 2 hours, prompting the man's family to express concern. Jonathan Ng reports.
Soni Rai was at the High Court today for the first day of the judicial review, challenging the coroner's court ruling that her husband, Dil Bahadur Limbu, was lawfully killed by police constable Hoi Ka-hee in March 2009. A representative of the local Nepalese community read out a statement on her behalf.
Like the families of those who die at the hands of the policemen in the Philippines was tragedy, all I want is a fair and proper inquest into the death of my husband at the hands of the Hong Kong policeman P.C. Hoi.
Hoi, who was responding to a resident's complaint, had fired 2 shots at Limbu, who was sleeping rough on a hillside in Ho Man Tin. 1 bullet hit Limbu in the head, and Hoi justified the shooting by claiming he had been attacked by the homeless man. At the end of a 76-day hearing last year, the coroner's court ruled that the shooting was lawful. The jury made no recommendations on ways to prevent similar incidents. Representing Roy, senior counsel Philip Dykes argued today that the scope of Coroner William Ng's ruling was too narrow, and it should have also looked at whether inefficiencies in the training might have contributed to Limbu's death. He also said the police force did not provide enough evidence as to how officers were trained. Dykes argued that Ng had misdirected the jury, and it would have made a world of difference if he had told them to come up with suggestions for police to prevent such incidents from happening again. He also said Limbu's previous offences should not have been admitted as evidence because it distracted the jury, and the coroner should have carried out the inquest with most rigour. Dykes initially said Coroner Ng showed apparent bias in his decision to conduct the case in Chinese and the way he treated it, but later backed down and admitted that it was a wrong decision after repeated questioning by Judge Anselmo Reyes. Simon Westbrook, who represents Hoi and the police, said Limbu had attacked the officer with unprovoked, continued violence. He argued it might not be fair to assess police training through this case, as Hoi may have forgotten his training when he was provoked and made a poor judgment call. The proceedings were originally expected to last for 3 days, but less than 2 hours into the hearing today, Judge Reyes said he would hand down his ruling. That has raised some concerns for Rai and her supporters.
I was little surprised by the speed in which this hearing was conducted. I and the members of the Nepalese community who attended little confused as to how all these important issues of judicial review could have been dealt with in only 2 hours.
This is a case that has raised concerns about the treatment of Hong Kong's ethnic minorities. Nearly 2 years after Limbu's death, his family is still looking for answers and is determined to fight for them. Jonathan, ATV